What would you do if the person everyone ignored, the one nobody ever noticed, suddenly whispered 5 words that could save your dying child? Would you listen, or would you let pride and protocol silence the only voice that might bring your daughter back? "Sir, I can wake your daughter." The words hung in the penthouse suite, like a prayer wrapped in impossibility. Camryn Carter, a shy girl who'd spent 24 years being invisible, stood trembling in the doorway of the Grandview Hotel's most exclusive suite. Her worn sneakers had carried her past every "do not disturb" sign, every security protocol, driven by the inspirational note burning in her pocket, a child's desperate message written in purple crayon. CEO Elias Reeves spun from the window where he'd been watching his daughter's vitals on his phone. 6 weeks. 7-year-old Lily had been trapped in a coma for 6 weeks. The best doctors, the most expensive treatments, nothing had worked. "What did you just say?" His voice cut through the air like shattered glass. This shy girl in her faded maid's uniform pulled out a crumpled piece of paper with shaking hands. "Lily gave me this 3 days before the accident. She knew something was coming." Security guards rushed forward. "Sir, she's trespassing." "Stop!" Elias's command froze everyone. His eyes locked onto the purple crayon, the backwards R, the little hearts instead of periods. His daughter's unmistakable style. The note read, "Help me talk to Daddy. Magic words only. Love, Lily." "This is impossible," he breathed. "Where did you—" She said I was her invisible friend. Camryn interrupted with heartwarming determination, finding courage from somewhere deep, somewhere inspirational. "Every Tuesday while you attended board meetings, she'd wait in the lobby talking to her stuffed rabbit. She'd practice conversations she wanted to have with you. She taught me that being invisible didn't mean being worthless." "You're saying my daughter confided in a complete stranger." "I wasn't a stranger to her, Mr. Reeves. I was the only one who saw her tears. The only one who noticed she was rehearsing how to ask you for a bedtime story, because she'd forgotten what your voice sounded like reading to her." The words hit him like physical blows. He hadn't read to Lily in over a year. "She told me about the magic words." Camryn continued, her voice gaining strength. "The ones that could wake her up. But she said you'd never listen to someone like me. That's why she gave me proof." From her cart, she pulled out a red silk scarf. "Your wife's scarf. Lily said it was brave like her mommy. She left it with me for safekeeping." Elias's hands trembled as he recognized it immediately. The scarf his wife wore on their first date, the one Lily clutched at the funeral. "I can reach her," the shy girl said. "Not with machines. With memories. With the words she's been waiting to hear. But you have to trust someone you've never even seen before. Someone invisible." He looked at this maid, this nobody who might be somebody. 30 minutes. You get 30 minutes. Sometimes miracles come through the servant's entrance, carried by those we've trained ourselves not to see. Richard Hale arrived within 20 minutes, his Italian shoes clicking with administrative authority. The 40-year-old hospital administrator assessed the situation with cold efficiency, his tablet already documenting what he saw as a liability nightmare waiting to happen. "Mr. Reeves, this woman is a hotel maid. No medical training, no credentials, no insurance coverage. This note could easily be fabricated." "Check the date," Camryn said quietly, pointing to Lily's careful printing. "July 15th, 3 days before her accident, before any news stories, before social media posts." Elias examined the paper more closely. The edges were decorated with butterflies and stars, exactly how Lily decorated every note she'd slipped under his office door during late nights. He now desperately wished he could take back. "Your daughter talked about you constantly." The shy girl continued, her voice gaining strength from memory. She said you smelled like coffee and forgotten dreams. She wanted to remind you how to smile but didn't know the magic words to break through your sadness. What magic words? Elias's composure cracked. The ones that would help you see her instead of looking through her. She practiced conversations with me pretending I was you. She'd share her butterfly drawings, explain how she wasn't afraid of the dark, because stars were just angels winking. Richard interjected, "This is emotional manipulation. She has a birthmark." Camryn interrupted with surprising firmness. Shaped like a crescent moon behind her left ear. She called it her secret moon, only showing it to people she truly trusted. Elias's hands shook. Even the medical staff didn't know about that mark. Lily's hair always covered it. Only he knew from nights holding her as a baby after her mother passed. "Where did you meet her?" he asked, his voice barely steady. "Here at the hotel. 3 months ago during your medical technology summit. She was alone in the lobby talking to her rabbit, Mr. Hoppy. She was rehearsing how to ask you for a bedtime story. She'd forgotten what your voice sounded like reading to her." The words hit like physical blows. He hadn't read to her in over a year. Always another meeting, another deadline. Mrs. Anderson, the 65-year-old head nurse, stepped forward from the doorway. Her voice carried decades of wisdom. "Mr. Reeves, I've witnessed many unexpected recoveries. The brain responds powerfully to emotional triggers. If this young woman truly knew Lily, her presence could make a difference." "It's still against protocol," Richard insisted. "She called you the paper man," Camryn said suddenly to Richard. Everyone turned. 2 weeks before her accident during her camp checkup, she saw you filing forms and said you looked sad, like you were made of paper instead of feelings. Richard's typing stopped abruptly, his face flushing. Elias saw the flicker of recognition, the discomfort of being seen too clearly by a child's innocent eyes. "Tell me about the red scarf," Elias said. From her cart, Camryn produced a small silk scarf, brilliant red like courage itself. "She left it after our 3rd butterfly lesson. Said it was magic, her mother's scarf that helped her be brave. She wanted me to keep it safe until she was ready to wrap it around your coffee mug to help you remember colors besides gray." Elias took the scarf with shaking hands, his wife's favorite worn on their first date, clutched by Lily during the funeral. "I'll take full responsibility," he declared to Richard. "Complete liability waiver, whatever you need. This woman sees my daughter in 30 minutes. This violates every regulation. My daughter is fading while your protocols document her decline." Elias's composure shattered completely. If this shy girl who saw my daughter when I was too blind, if she has even the smallest chance of reaching Lily, then I'll sign anything. Mrs. Anderson touched Richard's arm gently. "Sometimes healing arrives through unexpected doors. 30 minutes supervised. If there's no response, we follow standard protocol." Richard's jaw clenched, but he couldn't override Mrs. Anderson's seniority. 30 minutes, fully documented, and when this proves to be false hope, I'll personally ensure prosecution. Walking toward the hospital, Camryn clutched the scarf and note like lifelines. This inspirational journey from invisible Maid to unexpected hope felt surreal. She'd spent her life in shadows, but Lily had seen her light. "What if I fail?" she asked Mrs. Anderson. The older woman smiled warmly. "Dear, you've already succeeded. You kept her memory alive when everyone else watched machines. That's where healing begins, in the space between heartbreak and hope. So would 30 minutes be enough for this heartwarming connection to bridge 6 weeks of silence?" The hospital room hummed with machinery, each beep marking time in a world where hope felt fragile. Lily appeared impossibly small in the white bed, her dark hair fanned across the pillow. The red scarf in Camryn's hands seemed to pulse with life in this sterile space. "How should I proceed?" Elias asked CEO authority, replaced by a father's vulnerability. The shy girl moved to Lily's bedside with quiet determination. Heart talks always begin with touch. She gently took Lily's small hand. "Hey, butterfly girl. It's Camryn, your invisible friend from the hotel. The one who cried making paper cranes because they were too beautiful for someone like me to create." She placed the red scarf near Lily's other hand, letting silk brush fingertips. "Remember this. You said it held your mother's courage, waiting for you to be brave enough to use it." The monitors continued their mechanical rhythm. Richard stood recording everything, ready to document failure. But Mrs. Anderson watched with different eyes. She'd witnessed love work miracles before. "I brought your note." Camryn unfolded the purple crayoned paper. "Should I share those magic words you wanted your daddy to hear?" Then subtle but unmistakable, Lily's index finger curled toward the scarf. Not a spasm, but an intentional reach. "Did you see?" Elias started. "Involuntary muscle response," Richard announced quickly. "Meaningless reflex common in comatose patients." But Camryn felt the deliberate pressure through their joined hands. "She's listening. Lily, remember your story about the fox who forgot how to fly because he was too busy counting clouds?" Elias gasped. Lily always called him her fox because of his auburn hair. "The fox counted clouds." Camryn continued in a heartwarming storytelling rhythm, thinking if he counted enough, he could build a ladder to the butterfly in heaven. But he forgot that butterflies don't stay in heaven. They return as little girls who draw on briefcases and leave love notes under doors. Lily's breathing pattern shifted deeper, more purposeful. The ventilator adjusted to her natural rhythm rather than forcing it. "Her neural activity is spiking dramatically," Mrs. Anderson said softly. "These aren't random patterns. Keep going." "The little girl tried teaching the fox the magic words," Camryn continued. "But his ears were full of numbers and meetings. So she found a mouse that's me, Lily, a shy girl mouse who could translate fox language." "What are these magic words?" Elias leaned closer, drawn into the tale. Camryn looked up, tears flowing freely. "She wanted you to know that love isn't about being perfect. It's about being present." Her magic words were beautifully simple. "I love you anyway." The heart monitor jumped. Lily's pulse increased by 20 beats per minute. "Anyway," Elias moved closer. "She loves you anyway. When you work late, when you forget to laugh, when you see her mother's eyes and have to look away. She loves you through all of it, and she needed you to know before," Camryn's voice broke, "before she let go." "Let go?" Elias gripped the bedrail. "She's been holding on for you, Mr. Reeves, fighting to stay because she didn't want you to be alone. But she's exhausted. She needs to know it's safe to come back, that you'll truly be here not just physically, but with your whole heart." Richard stepped forward. "This is manipulation." "Look at the monitors," Mrs. Anderson commanded. "Her brain activity is approaching consciousness. She's fighting to surface." Elias leaned over his daughter, tears falling onto her face. "Lily, Daddy's here. I'm done counting clouds. I'm done missing your butterflies. Please, sweetheart, come back. I'll read every story, even the princess dinosaur one I called silly." Lily's eyes moved beneath closed lids, rapid searching movements. "Tell her about her mother," Mrs. Anderson urged gently. Elias picked up the red scarf with trembling hands. "Mommy's brave scarf. She wore it when you were born, said it would make her brave enough to be your mommy. Now I need it to make me brave enough to be your real daddy, not the paper man in his office." A soft sound escaped Lily's lips, not quite a word.